much coming. Of course, you're here for the Troy Baker panel. That's the best we could come up with. Troy Baker. All right, anyways, you've all seen Troy Baker, I'm sure, in a lot of things, right? Maybe you know him as Joel in Last of Us. Booker. Yeah! Kanji in Persona 4! You've also seen him probably on a million panels. He answers the same questions on shows like Up at Noon all the time. So we're giving you something special today. He's also a talented musician. He's gonna come out. He's gonna play for you. We're gonna talk about it. So ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the MomoCon stage, the one and only Troy Baker. That hair.
Somebody has an amazing sign, but I don't know how to read. What does it say? Oh. I wish I could read.
Says you're a really good reader, Troy.
Reading is fundamental. Now, you guys are going to witness some magic. Hang on. Yes, now it's magical. Best intro ever. Can I play a song for you?
Wake up in the morning glow. I have never felt this pure before. Your eyes shine so green today as I hang on every word you say. But you will always love me so, and I know you will never let me go. I died today. I did not lose my soul, only lost my self-control.
Is that right?
Yeah!
Want to take it up a bit?
I wake up in the ebb and flow. I have never been in this place before. Your eyes shine so green today as I hang on every word you say. You will always be this way. I know you have heard this one too many times before. Yeah, by the way, I died today. I did not lose my soul, I only lost my self-control. By the way, I died today. I did not lose my soul, I only lost my self-control.
Welcome to the party.
Thank you all for coming. It's been a great show. So Troy, I'll start the first question for your storyteller's performance here.
This is really cool that we're doing this, man.
Yeah, thank them for coming, guys. I'm gonna move this too before you electrocute yourself. Why did you get married? Like, I like your wife, she's nice, but you're beautiful, you got a good job, and then you're talented, pants.
You know, I am a wreck on my own. I am an absolute disaster on my own. And, you know, I think that we're just broken souls that are wandering around waiting to find someone else to kind of like fix us a little bit. And, wow. Or not, or the sex is good. How about that?
Yeah!
So yeah, I found my other half.
Your wife is hot.
My wife is very hot.
So, where do you find... Oh, so you're this big-time actor.
Am I?
You're the Joker!
Well, there's that.
You're in every video game.
Yoga!
It's the Yard
I like the guy from Boston say, Joker! Joker's here!
Big joke up in here!
Go, Mr. J, go put...
Hello, Howdy.
This is what you brought me here for. Oh, there you go. That's enough?
Straight vodka, by the way.
So, where do you find time for this on top of everything else? Because you have to talk to this wife you have. You have to go work. Clearly, there's a lot of upkeep in this, the workouts.
There's a lot. In the Ashberg chamber, all that kind of stuff. This is something that, it's so funny how everything kind of comes full circle, because I mean, I started off as a musician, and then that's where I thought life was taking me. And you hit one speed bump and you heard, thank you so much. You have these obstacles and you realize that, there's more doors that are closing that are opening, and it's life trying to tell you something. It's like, stop, this is not what I have planned for you. And I cannot even conceive not being where I'm at, because, I mean, you guys have been very receptive to what we've done. I've had the opportunity to work on incredible projects, but there's still this, like, burning passion for me in music. It doesn't go away just because you don't choose to do it professionally. And there isn't time, to be really honest with you. I've been having to carve out time, and that's why this album's taken so long to do, is because you have to juggle it in. It's a labor of love. So I've had to create hours in the day to sit and do this, and hopefully come up with something that you guys will like when it finally comes out.
When's it coming out?
We're mixing right now, and we should be done. We hope to have it out by the end of the summer. But it's going to be really, I'm not going to put out a piece of, oh, the mic cut out. So we've been waiting, because I'd rather it come out and to be perfect and to be exactly what I want, because who knows if I'm going to be able to do another one. So we just want this to be really, really good.
All right, let's hear another perfect song.
Well, I kind of want to play something that,
No.
Yeah, you know what, let's do that instead. We'll do a song from the record, how about that? We actually just finished mixing this one, and I'm really in love with it. I'm a big Bruce Springsteen fan. I'm a big MomoCon fan too, and so where we did the album at, we went up to Big Bear, California, which is like up in the mountains, and we found this house that was huge, and it was either wood or it was stone. It was amazing. And we spent 5 days up there.
Wait, those are different types of material.
Yeah.
You're just so into the music. You just walk in.
But look at the architecture. But yeah, so we spent 5 days tracking this, and this was one that I was really looking forward to. It was one of the first songs that we recorded. It's called Sad Song. So.
I saw a new sun rising. We fell asleep for days until a new sun rises. We can't drive in for days. Oh, for days. Ain't it funny how it goes when feelings start to change? 'Cause we all fall away till we're laughing to a sad song playing. The tears we're thinking fade as we go along the way, and we're laughing to a sad song. I saw a new sun rising. We fell asleep for days. Oh, until the bright moon follows to see how far we'll stray. Oh, we'll stray. That ain't funny. Everybody's laughing to a sad song. Still laughing to a sad song.
Thank you. That was good. It's sad, but it was good. So, here's the thing. Everything I know about music I learned from Taylor Swift. True. So, my question for
And
you...
relationships.
When you go in to make music like this, is this all based on true stories like Taylor Swift's are?
Yeah, well, true.
Hey, I need a new boyfriend. I need to write a new song. Breaking up.
Treading on some mighty thin ice, Troy.
Yeah, I mean, I think that it's really funny. There was anybody know who Leonard Cohen is? Please say yes. So a good friend of mine had the opportunity to sit down with Leonard Cohen, like at the 101 Cafe in Los Angeles, and just like, holy shit, that's Leonard Cohen. And so he was incredibly like open, and he said, "You are my greatest inspiration, and I love your writing, I love your music, I love you. Please marry me." And this was before Prop 8, so we couldn't actually get that done. But so Leonard Cohen tells him something. He was like, "Write down everything." This is good advice to everybody. Write down every thought you have, every poem, every song, every writing, every idea that you have, because your current self may not be able to understand it, but your future self will. And it's amazing how when you look back on stuff that you did as you were younger, you're like, I don't even know what I was writing, but your future self knew, and all you had to do was go through an experience or have something bad happen to you or have something good happen to you for you to understand what you were actually talking about. So a lot of these songs have sat dormant for 10 years, or less, 5 years, and some of them are new. But they've sat and gestated, and it's really funny because I wrote that last song when I was still with the band that was in Trip Fontaine, right at the end as we were breaking up, and we're just writing it, sad song, blah blah blah, and it wasn't until recently I realized, I was like, oh, that sad song was about us, and it's how we had this great time, and we laughed at all the wrong things, but we were going to go our separate ways, and that's okay. And that's the sad song. So it's interesting how I've looked back on stuff that I've written previously, and it's been like my older self has had to inform my younger self of what I was actually talking about. Does that make any sense? I just said time travel. So from a quantum physics standpoint, what you really understood. Do you want me to go in quantum physics? Because that's what that's right. See, Columbia was actually floating because...
So here's my question. You're talking before about doors closing, right? That took you from music to where you were. And this band ending, I imagine, is one of those doors closing. So how did it happen? How did you make the jump from wanting to be this rock star to now being Joker?
It's so funny. I mean, I tripped backwards into this whole thing, and we were actually recording our album at the studio, and that did car commercials as well. And so I was like, hey, I'm a broke musician, no money, anything. And I was like, I love to do radio commercials. And they're like, oh, cool, good for you, get out. And 2 weeks later, this is right about the same time, because we put out an EP, and we got our record deal, and then we broke up. Literally, the ink was drying on our record deal, and they were like, we're actually done, so we're not gonna do that. But right around that same time, I started doing car commercials, and it's happy accidents and little miracles. And I was doing these car commercials, and then I met Chris Sabat. Get DBZ all up in here real quick. Chris Sabat was my, played Vegeta, Dragon Ball Z. He was my, and a slew of other stuff. He was my, thank you. He was my gateway into all of this, and he turned me on to another guy, and he turned me on to this, and I had a friend of mine who was in the music, another music scene in Dallas that worked for Gearbox Software that was doing this game called Brothers in Arms. And, I know.
Huge Brothers in Arms!
Next door, that's the band name, that's Brothers in Arms. So I started doing these video games, and I've always pretended, all this. Nolan North puts it the best way. He goes, the stuff that used to get me detention is now paying me as an adult, which is true. And so I've always been a performer, and I still utilize those same skills of being like a musician and applying that to music, or being a musician and applying it to acting. And it's interesting how much now understanding stories, like the narrative in video games, is getting so prevalent. It's such a critical aspect of a game. How much of storytelling is now informing the music? It's kind of some of the ways that self has informed, the other self has been pretty interesting.
I just dislike everything you say. Sounds like this. You're way ahead. I come on, and you're like, let me tell you something incredibly important.
I think that's all that music is, and I think that's all that anything that we do is just trying to tell a story because we want to connect, and that's why we have Twitter, is we're trying to tell you. That's true. Can I do another one?
Yeah.
Is that cool?
There's still plenty of time to film.
This is a great story. One night I was with these two amazing ladies.
Yeah, I like this story a lot,
And they were this couple, and just their relationship, the way they understood each other, was a big revelation for me. And she told me that they realized that one was the dove, one was the sparrow, and one could just sit and rest in peace while the other just like flitted about and everything. And being able to understand that about each other allowed them to have like this really, really loving relationship. I went home like that night and just wrote this song, I think in like 10 minutes. It's called Starseed. So.
Versed in philosophy, but I'll talk to you all night over coffee and right around 4 a.m. when all our thoughts start blending in and give way to heavy eyes. I'll crawl into bed with you, whisper one I love you, watch you fade into sleep. Now say goodnight to Starseed. We might not agree on things like theology, but I swear I see God in you when you smile at me. And right around 5 a.m. when the wine is gone and you've given in to all of my ridiculous tries, you look at me that way you do, and I bring my lips close to you, bring back the feelings you need. We turn the lights, the Starseed. The sparrow takes a wing while the dove sits there watching, patiently waiting for you. Oh, and that's when I would look at you. You give me a tap or two, reminds me again of the truth, that all the things we laughed about push away the fear and doubt, as I recall the only thing I need. Is another night of Starseed. Oh, when the sparrow takes a wing while the dove sits still watching, patiently waiting for you. Say the sparrow takes a wing while the dove sits still watching, patiently waiting for you. Waiting for you.
here's the thing. How did you?
That was awesome.
Well,
Great.
This is what I'm going back to. The Troy Baker method of speaking is like, yeah. So there's this story to tell you about. And Greg was like, nah. What do you want?
Poop jokes. I'm not doing you. I'm doing me. I'm like poop's funny. Farts are funny.
He was talking about it backstage. You want to tell your marathon story?
Oh my God. So I just did a half marathon, 13.1 miles. Don't. No. Don't. It was awful. And it was great. I'm there with my wife. I'm there with Travis Willingham, and I'm sitting there. And we're like, there's massive humanity, and it's 7 o'clock in the morning, and you're freezing. You're off. And for perspective, I'm not gonna fill in the blanks for you. Some are women, some are both. I don't know. I'm gonna segregate. Anyway, and they're about to we're like 30 seconds away from the gun going off and beginning this 2.5 hour of I don't know what. And I go, uh-oh. I gotta go. And I mean, the line to the restrooms is forget about it. And I'm like, I'm gonna put myself on this run. And I didn't. So that's an accomplishment. Again, little victories. Yeah, thank you. That's Armstrong and I have something in common.
That medal you got for that running, it has a double meaning. Sure. You finished the marathon and you didn't poop.
And I didn't poop myself.
Yeah.
Did not poop my pants.
So here's something I noticed in your music, okay, and then as well in your performances. And then I want to go back to a little bit when you were doing your car commercials.
Okay.
Where did you learn that you could alter your voice the way you do?
Oh,
man.
man.
You're one of those, like, Nolan North is a hack. When Nolan North is in a video game, I know it's Nolan North. You, I never know. You're always jumping around being different.
Dude, so Stevie Ray Vaughan, right, is probably one of the most celebrated guitarists of all time. Just he's an amazing guitarist. His younger brother, Jimmy Vaughan, I heard a quote from him once, and he says, Jimmy Vaughan, meaning himself, speaks to himself in the third person and making him sound like an idiot. He said, I play about 80% of what I know. Stevie played about 10. So I'm Jimmy Vaughan, and Nolan North is Stevie Ray Vaughan, because you guys have scratched the surface of what that guy is capable of. Really no love for Nolan at all. Guy in the back. Boston Bear is here, ladies and gentlemen. It's great. 6 people got that. That's great. I just came out with a new movie. It's not like it's irrelevant anymore. It's literally in theaters right now. So I remember like the first time I was a kid, Reagan was when I was a kid, Ronald Reagan was president. And that was like, I remember it was Ronald Reagan and John Wayne, and I just used to do like impressions of them. And so I found out that I was like, oh, I can do this, and like kind of like, you know, morph your voice to make it sound different than your own. And I think I did that so much is because like when I was a kid, here's a typical phone call in the middle of the afternoon when I answered the phone. Hello? Yes, ma'am. Is the husband of the house home? I'm not a man. Excuse me, you're not a man? No, I'm not a man. I'm a boy. No way you can't sound completely emasculated with that voice. I'm a boy. So I wasn't comfortable. I was so uncomfortable in my own skin. I was uncomfortable with my body. I was uncomfortable with my voice. I was uncomfortable with everything. I was always looking for things to validate me and make me feel better about who I was. I sucked at sports, and I had no talent. You know, I just couldn't do anything, and I was awkward and gangly. And but I found what? 100%. But I found 2 things that I connected with. 3 things, actually. There was music, because for some reason I could pick it up pretty easily. I could sit down. We had like an organ growing up, and there was a piano at our church that we went to, and I could sit down and I could play, and I could... Drums, I wanted to become a drummer because Phil Collins came out with In the Air Tonight. People did it with me. It's great. He loves me though. It's just the way we kid. But I found this like connection with music and comic books and cartoons and video games. And it was something that I was terrible at video games, but it was like this escape because I could be a badass. I could be, play Double Dragon. I could kick anybody's ass. Going back to old school. So that was my thing. That's like what I absorbed myself into. I feel like we're off topic.
Oh, you're right there.
Was it right there?
I was talking about how you changed.
Oh, so yeah, I remember. Thank you.
Who are you?
I remember watching Batman the Animated Series. And I would, I'd VHS tape the episodes. Because TiVo was some like sorcery that didn't exist even on the Jetsons. Of all the things, they didn't have anything for TV. It was hilarious. Or any kind of devices like mobile devices. Everything was huge.
Their car packed up into a suitcase.
There is that. Yeah, nobody wants to do that. And just like touch of a button, it defied gravity and folded up. That's what was great. But I remember watching, and I would watch, and I was looking, I was like, okay, Kevin Conroy is Batman. And Mark Hamill is the, can't be the same. You didn't have IMDb. You just had to believe it. Like
my faith says that Mark Hamill is the same Mark Hamill from...
And I was like, well, dude, that's Luke Skywalker. Luke Skywalker sounds zero like the Joker. If he can reinvent himself, maybe I could do the same thing. And I was like, I remember looking at Draper, I was like, one day I'm going to work with her. And I did. And it was on Diablo. And then the first time that Andrea directed me as the Joker in Assault on Arkham was like, that's coming out soon. That was a banner day for me. So it's just been kind of like this, you learn something about yourself, and don't pigeonhole yourself because you believe that this is your one and only talent or that you have zero talent, because it's just simply something you haven't discovered about yourself yet, and maybe you need to grow into it. Or maybe there's just a door that's waiting to open for you that you're not ready to walk through. So don't ever feel that you don't have a talent, because it's just, sorry, it's bullshit, because everybody in this room has a talent. So. I kind of want to, since I'm getting kind of reminiscent, and I want to kind of go back to kind of like where I started and like people that have influenced me. Am I too sappy? Is that okay? I'm like a super sappy kind of guy. Anybody know who Jeff Buckley is? I'm not playing Hallelujah. Like every guy in my 20s, I was just unlucky in love and just terrible at relationships. And so there were many nights that I was a perfect kind of like depressing situation. And John Cusack standing out with us. Anyway. Terrible. But this is, we find our own kind of like security blankets, and we find our own things that we want to wrap ourselves up in when we're sad. And sadness is beautiful. Sadness is such a beautiful thing because then we don't really appreciate joy without it. We're never truly happy if we're never truly sad. So I'm grateful for these sad moments. And this was kind of one of the companions that I had for a lot of those sad moments was this song. It's called Lover, You Should Have Come Over. And I've never done this live before, so just bear with me.
Looking out the door, I see the rain fall upon the field of mourners, parading in the wake of circulations as the shoes fill up with water. Maybe I'm too young to keep good love from going wrong, but tonight is far, and he's much too blind to see the damage he's done. No, 'cause sometimes a man must awake to find that really he has no one. So I wait for you and I burn. Will I ever see your sweet return? Will I ever learn? Oh, love, should have come over. It's not too late. Open window that's raining. I'm burning in the corner. It's the only one that dreams he had you within. My body turns and yearns for sleep that won't ever come. It's never over. My kingdom for a kiss upon a shoulder. It's never over. All my riches for a smile when it slaps so soft against her. It's never over. Hold my blood for the sweetness of our laughter. It's never over. She's a tear that hangs inside my soul forever. It's not too late. It's not too late.
So this has been something I've been meaning to ask you. Every time you come over, it's like,
Hey,
Hey.
what are you doing? I was just wondering, like, the same friends and I are going to the movies.
oh, I'd love to. I really would.
Yeah?
I can't.
Oh, I totally get it.
Yeah,
It's fine, don't worry. I'll see you tomorrow.
What movie?
Don't worry, it's X-Men.
Godzilla? We can't. I'm sorry.
Like, hey, like, that song got me through some rough times when I was 20 years old. And I'm like, when I was going through rough times as a 20-year-old, I got every dog tag in Metal Gear Solid 2. So, you talked a second about, working with the DC folks to go do the latest Arkham game, be directed. But, like, for you to have grown up on Mark Hamill's Joker, and for it to change your life and influence you in such a harsh way, Harsh.
Easy. Batman's drunk.
For Batman Arkham Origins and stuff, like, at what point did did they tell you when you went to audition, you're auditioning for the Joker, and so like...
Oh, no, that would have been awesome, because I never would have showed up. I walked in, and you were auditioning for this character named Jack White, and they didn't send any sides out like they normally do beforehand. And I was like, are we doing like a weird video game? Or I don't know what's going on. That was my impersonation of Jack White, I don't know. So it's strange. And so I went in, and they're like, okay, so here's the copy, here's what you're going to be reading. And I was like, cool. That's from Arkham Asylum. That's from Batman the Animated Series, and oh my god, this is the Killing Joke monologue. And I freaked out, and I went, so, this is for the Joker. They're like, what makes you think that? Because I'm not an idiot. And they're like, is that okay? I'm like, and I was like, I'm gonna bomb this. I'm gonna suck, but I'm gonna go down fighting. And I got one shot at this, and so I did the Killing Joke monologue and stopped. And so I left, and I was like, oh well, at least I got to do that. And I got a call later. We were going to Comic-Con. It was right around the time of Comic-Con, and I got a call while I was there by a good friend of mine, Paz, who worked at Rocksteady, and he's like, hey, I want to meet up and have a drink with you. I was like, cool. And so he said, I just want to give you the heads up that we're going to offer you the role of the Joker. I'm like, how drunk are you, Paz? If not, have another drink. And I was like, absolutely not, dude, absolutely not. There's no way. I will be crucified in the streets. And because I was, at that point I knew I was doing Lego Batman, so I was going to do Nightwing and Robin and Two-Face and Lego Batman. And it's like, at what point you're like, we're just taking over the whole franchise, aren't you, Troy? And Wonder Woman. Transvestite version of Wonder Woman, but... wouldn't that be terrible? That'd be awful. It is an invisible jet! And so I said no. I said absolutely not. And then I went and met with Ames Purchin, who's the kind of the bigwig in charge of like Warner Brothers Interactive. And he was like, let me show you something. And he played back my audition. He was like, dude, you can do this. If you said no, it would be a shame for you not to. Let me talk to you about it, what your reservations are. And it's like, because I don't want people. I'm gonna have to be like Mark Hamill. It's not like I can do my own thing, which God, that would have had its own challenges. But I need to be compared to Mark because it had to point to what Mark did in everything else, not just Arkham City and Arkham Asylum, but everything else. And so he walked me through, and I was like, you know what? Travis Willingham has a phrase. He says, "You have to do what makes you tremble." And I was like, okay, so this is one of those things. And I went into it shaking, and people have been really responsive. They've been very responsive and positively responsive. So if you're one of those people, thank you very much for not.
I don't think it's by accident that now you're playing Joker again, but this time in one of the animated films, right?
Yeah, I mean, I'm really cheap. I appreciate the loyalty that DC has me. Look along, Kevin's been doing it, Mark Hamill's been doing Joker, of course, and you want to have something that they can build a brand around, and so to be counted among that, and I thought I was going to do one and done, and the fact they brought me back in for Assault on Arkham was really cool. Great, very great.
So,
thanks, what'd you say? You need to be desensitized? Again, I can't read. Notice me, senpai? You're your own senpai, how about that? You be your own teacher. Life is your teacher. That's like Greg Sipes right now. No, man. Air is all you need. It's full of love. That's Greg Sipes.
So do you like taking on a new character like Joel from the ground up, right? We don't know anything.
Or is it better to start start from the ground up, or is it better to start with something established? Both have their own unique challenges, and they are equally as difficult, just in two different ways. Because one, you have the benefit of not being compared to anything before, like with Joel. But then you really need to, you're gonna add that flesh and that muscle and that bone and that tissue and the blood and everything. That's why a lot of people, when they say, you know, you're the voice of, it's like, well, hang on a second. Sometimes, yeah, we just do the voice, which is its own, like in Avengers Assemble or the anime that we've done. That's me just using one singular tool as that conduit for the character. But when you're talking about something like Joel, or you're talking about Delson, or you're talking about, well, Booker was done VO as well, though, so I'm trying to think of like full performance capture, like what we're doing with Call of Duty right now. Believe it or not, you guys are gonna be blown away. It's gonna be amazing. That is something that it's incorporating everything else. So someone goes, do the voice of, and I'm saying this early. What you're saying is, let me translate it for you. Do me a favor and step into that character, go into their mind, and let me see that person, which sounds awesome for you, but it's not a light switch thing that you can turn on, turn off. It's something that there's an investment, and especially with Joel is this 500-pound weight, and so you're like, do the voice, and I was like, all right, hang on, let me, get this on, and it's heavy, and every time I step into that role, there's key points that I like point to, and it's like, remember this happened, and remember you feel this way. And so you're not just hearing me do a voice, you're seeing, like, I feel, it sounds so like actor bull poopery or whatever, but I feel different when I'm Joel. There's like a demeanor change. I'm not saying he's like Richard III and I've got like a hump or anything. I'm just saying that there's a switch and a shift that happens. So there's a challenge with that because you have to create all of that. You have to create that weight. And fortunately, you have amazing partners like Ashley Johnson, who's Ellie. You have Neil Druckmann and Bruce Sterling, everybody in the team at Naughty Dog that really helps you find that, and they serve as your compass and your light on the horizon to go towards. And then you swing over to Joker to where it's like, okay, do everything that this person has done, and you better not suck at it. That's a huge challenge, and especially because the only job, from like an acting standpoint, that I've ever had that I got fired from, anybody know who Mike McFarlane is? Okay. Love me some Mike McFarlane. So Mike is directing me on a little show, nobody ever watched it, called Full Metal Alchemist. And I was coming in just to do like a one-off character, not that big at all, character named Greed. So my first line is the first time you see Greed, and the stage direction is 30 seconds of building maniacal laughter. Never forget those words. 30 seconds of building maniacal laughter. 6 words. And you know, every job you learn something about yourself. And what I learned that day is my kryptonite is 30 seconds of building maniacal laughter. And I ended up sounding like a dolphin having an asthma attack. I couldn't do it. I could not do it. And we were in there for a while. One line. 30 minutes, easy. And I finally just hear this from the booth outside. I go, why don't you go ahead and step on up, man? I'm like, oh no. He's like, we'll find something else for you. And that was it. I was fired. I was like, well, I'm done in this business. And fortunately, obviously, they found the perfect Greed in Chris Patton. And
one cheer and it's Chris.
Thank you. So, and then, you know, again, there's a door that closed and it opened up other opportunities, but it forced me to go, you need to work on this. This is a weakness that you have, and clearly you're gonna have to do it. And I worked really hard, and so you go into audition for the Joker, and at one last line of the audition, you're like, you're doing this, like, cool, we just need one more thing from you. Like, can you go ahead and laugh for us? Sure. I'm gonna poop first, and then do my best. And so I did the laugh, but there was.
Do it now.
Do it now.
He just told you
Here's the thing. Do it, monkey. People throwing change at me. Put that in your slot. What's so funny though is that like the laugh that I always remember is the scariest one of all. Is when he has like he's like that thing is what goes me. I think that's incredible. It's like the because people have done the big boisterous laugh, but it's the one where it's just like where the that one. Those are the two laughs that I love the most. And so I did those, and they're like, oh yeah, we need a big laugh from you. So anyway, it's something that I really had to work on, and there were some sessions where like you're booked for 4 hours, and we get done in an hour and a half. We're like, you're done. Not because we finished, but because you're done. You can't do anything else. And so you have to swallow a lot of humble pie, and you have to realize, like, guys, I'm really working at this really, really hard. So nothing has ever been a cakewalk, especially that, which makes the rewards that much sweeter. And again, without the bitter, there ain't the sweet, right? And so there was a lot of bitter on that, and then it came out pretty sweet. All right. What happened to Matthew McConaughey, too? Who switched him on? Someone walked out there and went, oh my God, guys, you realize this has been off the entire time? Sorry. I'm just gonna go ahead and winch Moshkos right now, that's good. Fair lunch wasn't even, I wasn't even really alive for that. I just don't think it was fair. It was a circle that I should just devolves into SSS. Either that or he made a deal with the devil, and the devil was like, give me your abs and I will give you back talent. He's like, I can settle with that, that's alright, here you go. How did Matthew McConaughey ended up on this film?
I have no idea.
We're live streaming this too, are we? It's great. Like he's sitting home going, son of a bitch, he's right. As he cradles and eats ice cream off of his Oscar. I got $10 million in the bank. Yeah, this is one that I love to do here.
When you were here before, and look you in the eye, you're just like an angel. Your skin makes me cry. You flew like a feather. Beautiful world. You're so special. I wish I was special. I'm a creep. I'm a widow. What the hell am I doing here? I don't belong here. Don't care if it hurts. I wanna have control. I want a perfect body. I want a perfect soul. I want you to know this, and I'm 'cause you're so special. You're so fucking special. And we're all creeps. Yeah, we're all weirdos. What the hell are we doing here?
I'll tell you.
We all belong here. We all belong here.
Ladies and gentlemen, of course, you get to see Troy tomorrow at the BioShock panel. You get to see him Sunday at the Last of Us panel. Did you like his music? Yeah! Do you want one more song? Troy, please, not me, Jesus God. Give him a chant, give him a cheer. Ladies and gentlemen, Troy Baker.
Never went down to Georgia.
There's the last song that we recorded on the album, we ended up doing it at 3 o'clock in the morning, and we were about to break down. It was this beautiful, quiet moment in the cabin, and I started playing this song, and the engineer, I didn't know, started rolling tape, and everybody just started joining in. It was unrehearsed, live, and one take, and it's this song.
Will the circle be unbroken by and by? There's a better home awaiting in the sky, Lord, in the sky.
Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Courtnee Draper. Now it's right. She deserves a bigger applause than that.
One by one, seats were empty. One by one, they went away. Now this circle has has been broken. Will it be complete one day? Will the circle be unbroken by and by, or by and by? There's a better home awaiting in the sky, Lord, in the sky.
Thank you guys. See you guys next time.
I'm Troy Baker, and I've got a nerdy mind.